All right, guys, so now you know about all 9 Enneagram types. You know about the wings, core desires, you got it all. You even know about how the Enneagram works. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about self-care for each of the Enneagram types, just to give you guys a little more insight into exactly what you need to do based on your Enneagram. So first we have type 1, remember the perfectionist. What they need for self-care is a regimented, organized sleep pattern, sleep schedule that keeps it so that they can have good rest. They also need some journaling. Journaling is a really important one for type 1s because it'll help them express their feelings. Journaling is the best outlet. Spontaneity, time for spontaneity because they're so organized and they need to embrace that type 7. Having time where they can be spontaneous and fun is really important, whether that's a dance party or going out for a hike or playing outside, whatever. Some form of spontaneity will be great. And then creative outlet without judgment. I think poem writing's really good, and coloring's really good, and painting especially is really good. Whatever creative outlet they like, they need a creative outlet where they cannot allow their inner critic to control what they're creating, all right? Then we have type 2s. So type 2s are the helpers. Remember, they're the overgivers. So what we want to do for their self-care is stare out in nature. For my dad, this is a really important one because they need time where they can just be, where they don't need to serve others, and they can just regain their energy. So staring in nature, like meditation in nature, basically. Whether it's staring out at the ocean, maybe you're in a forest, whatever. Do it for you. That means that finding what they need, self-care for themselves. What do they want? What do they need? What can they do for them, not for the purpose of serving other people? And daily check-ins so that they have some sort of ritual where, whether it's meditation or just journaling, where they can check in with themselves and see and express, where am I at? How do I feel? What am I thinking about? Am I giving enough to myself? Then we have type 3s. Remember, the achievers. So they struggle with overachievement and allowing themselves to rest, and they struggle with how people are seeing them, how image conscious. So the best things for them are a tech cleanse. If you're an adult in your type 3, you probably have your devices on you at all times, or you're always trying to plan or work through your devices. So doing a tech cleanse is really good for type 3's energies. Trying a new sports or adventures will be really good because they want to try new things, and type 3s want having a new place to try new things will help them because it'll get them out of that mindset of I need to be the best at this thing. And when they're trying new things, then they have no expectation of having to be the best. So new sports that are adventurous, new adventures will be fun and good for them. And exercise without comparison. So maybe it's yoga, maybe it's running, whatever extra form of exercise makes it so that they can't compare themselves to others. So maybe doing solo exercise is the best way to go for this, but any form of exercise where they cannot allow themselves to be compared to others or they're thinking about being the best. Then we get to type 4s for self-care. Type 4s are the individualists. They have a lot of emotions they need to work through. They struggle with feeling a little melancholy and getting stuck in negative emotions. And they struggle a little bit with being stuck in their emotions and taking action. So what we want to do for their self-care is exercise, finding a form of exercise that works for them, whether that's just dancing or running or working out, a form of exercise that they do routinely, or so that they can get more exercise in and help release all those emotions, because exercise is a great way to get all that excess energy out. And then scheduling time to express yourself, scheduling creative time for them. They need a routine time every day where they have freedom to just create or express themselves in any way that they love. And then gratitude journaling, because type 4s can sometimes be drawn into these faux negative emotions that they think are really important to them, but really are just deceiving them. They need time, they need to practice being grateful for things because they can get sucked into those emotions. We need to be able to bring them out and find joy, find love, and find gratitude for the thing they do have. And gratitude journaling is a great way to do that. For type 5s, the investigators, they're the withdrawn people who are very logical and factual. They do well with dynamic exercise. I know for my brother, it was great. He did karate at a young age, and he found it so interesting because he was becoming back in tune with his body by doing such dynamic movement. So it doesn't have to necessarily be karate either. Whatever dynamic exercise, whether it's yoga or even hiking is really good too. Whatever exercise works for you. Small reachable goals also help because type 5s can get stuck up in taking in information. They need time, they need reachable goals to help keep them on track, and that'll be really beneficial. Spontaneity too is a good one, big one for both type 1s and type 5s. They need time where they can just have fun and let loose because they get stuck in their heads. And social balance. This does not mean maybe your kids are already super social because they go to school, or if you're a parent and you already have a social job, then you need to make time to draw within. But if you're spending most of your days alone, if you're a parent, or if you're like stay at home, or if your kids stay at home a lot, then you're gonna wanna balance out that social life and find a social outlet for them. So maybe they have, like my mom had said, a running partner would be good, or even if it's just a social group, or you hang out with a friend, whatever works. Some sort of social balance for type 5s. And then for type 6s, I found for my sister as a type 6, she loved having mantras. Empowering mantras is really good for them, ones that help them overcome their fear or make them feel more brave or help them feel empowered are really good. Making their own mantras and hanging them up will help type 6s a lot. I have a whole workbook on it for empowering mantras decoded that can help you. Or if you have mantras already for them, that is good too. Also, journaling your anxieties for type 6s is a big one because they have a lot of fear, but it's not like they can just maybe express all their anxieties to you. Practicing journaling it out will help them calm it down and express it better instead of feeling overwhelmed by it. And field trips to your favorite spots. So Tati, my younger sister, she loves this one. Type 6s do want to have fun and they need to be able to have a spontaneous fun life, but they get caught up in their fear. So what they can do, both as parents and kids, plan a trip to somewhere. Plan a trip to somewhere you know and that you know you'll enjoy, whether it's to the beach or to a park or to a museum, or even if it's a vacation, to a mini vacation, that will be really good. Just planning a trip to your favorite spot so you can get there and relax and have fun, that's a really good one to do. Self-care for type 7s. The type 7s are the enthusiasts, remember? So they need social time with their favorite people so that they can really feel expressive and have time where they allow themselves to be joyful. But then they also need some healthy habits too, because sometimes type 7s like to do things in excess, especially as adults. I hear a lot that they struggle with doing things way in excess of some things and then not doing them at all. Instead, we want to practice healthy habits that balance it out. So maybe it's you're doing greens juices or you're starting exercise programs, something like that. And meditation. Doing meditation will be a great one for type 7s, whether it's 15 minutes, an hour, whatever works for you. Get some meditation in every week. In music is a good one for type 7s too. This one's a big one for my brother because music helps them understand their emotions. Music, whether you're playing music or you're listening to music, because music can help you and helps them specifically work through their emotions and feel understood, and so then they can later express them to people. Type 8s, the challenger. For them, you want to help them decompress because they love challenge so much and leading that they need time to relax. So getting a massage would be good if you're the parent, or take your kid with you. Or in yoga too is a good one. Try to steer away from hot, intense yoga, maybe something more relaxing. Getting alone time so you can process your thoughts and not feel like you have to lead would be good. And practicing moderation too. Moderation in leading and wanting to be led, and moderation with your intensity. That's a really important one. That's why we put all these ones here. All these three follow moderation so that you have moderation between being social and being by yourself. Moderation between leading and not leading. Moderation between intensity and relaxation. Yeah? And a friend that you can trust. Find a friend that you can trust, who you can talk to and just be a friend around, who you can just relax with. And if you don't have a friend, maybe seek one out. And then for type 9s, we have the peacemakers. Morning rituals I hear are really helpful. They've been really helpful for me because they add a routine to my life and they give me a sense of harmony where I like to do every morning. I pull a tarot card and drink my coffee, and that's my morning ritual. Now, it could be different for you. A morning ritual can be anything, or it could be an evening ritual. And then setting small goals. That can be a hard one for type 9s that you'll want to help each other out with if you're a parent, or if you're the child, help them out setting goals, but giving them small goals to achieve will really help, whether it's learn a cartwheel, or it's get an A in this subject, or it's learn this, any sort of goal. And then also trying mini challenges. You don't want to jump straight into saying, okay, you're going to hike 18 miles, you're going to learn to do this complex skill. No. But starting them off on mini challenges is definitely something you want to do to help them embrace their discomfort, all right? And small adventures too, that will step them outside of their mental comfort zone. So maybe it's, okay, you tell them out of the blue, we're going to go do this thing, all right? We're going to go try this hike, let's go for it, all right? So that's a good one. And time for creative expression, because type 9s struggle with expressing themselves. It takes a long time for us to understand how to express ourselves. So giving them somewhere where they can creatively express themselves. I know for me what helps is I play the guitar, and that feels like a huge outlet for me for my expression. But maybe it's not an instrument for you. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's writing, whatever works for you. So there's self-care for all of the Enneagram types. I kept this a little bit in your Enneagram workbook for kids. I have a cheat sheet of each of the types and what they need for their self-care, and I put journaling in there. So that's your next step, is you're gonna go head over to that book, and that is where the magic is gonna happen, guys. You gotta do the workbook with your kids, all right? So do your journaling, check that book out, and if you're interested, check out the resources. I included it at the end of the book, and those resources are my favorite, and they really help get a better understanding if you're interested in understanding the Enneagram more. But this masterclass really did cover it all, so if you ever feel like you need to rewatch this, keep this on hand so that you can always look back and think, oh yeah, this is what I need to remember, because it's got it all right? I really hope you guys enjoyed this masterclass. This was a lot of information to take in, but remember, just give yourself a day, maybe rewatch a few sections just to process the stuff that was in it, and don't forget to do the workbook, guys. Thank you so much for joining this masterclass. Hope you have a closer connection with your kids now. Keep it mindful, kids.